Take Paws has been made possible by support from the following Community Foundation of Broward funds. And by Broward County Animal Care and Adoption, where you can adopt a new best friend for life.
Nowadays, I see so many people walking their dogs off leash. And as nearly every veterinarian will tell you, it's just an accident waiting to happen. There are plenty of places where it's okay to have your dog off leash, like inside your own home, or in a secure fenced-in yard, or maybe even at a dog park that allows pets to be off leash. But when you take your pup out for a stroll in the neighborhood or want to have him in the front yard, he really needs to be on a leash and under your control. Owning a pet means you are responsible for your pet. Your pet is not responsible for itself. And it's especially not responsible for any trouble it may get into if you take him out without a leash. Even if your pet isn't causing any trouble, it can get extremely ill or even die by something as simple as ingesting a piece of gum that someone's tossed on the ground or sidewalk that has xylitol in it as an artificial sweetener. Please, keep your pet on a leash. It's better to be safe than sorry, and in most places, it's the law. Good boy. Yeah, we did it.
In the United States, almost every municipality has some kind of a leash law. And a lot of people say, oh, well, my pet is well trained, you know, I've taken him to obedience class and he walks safely by my side. But really the leash law is twofold. One is, it is to protect your pet, because if for some reason your pet does run off or get scared or react unusually, you have control over your pet so he doesn't run out into traffic and get hit by a car. On the other flip side is to protect your fellow residents. The other people are walking their dog on a leash, and so you want to make sure everybody is protected. A lot of children are afraid of dogs, or even adults. Some children might come up to your pet and want to play with it thinking it's friendly, and maybe your pet doesn't take too kindly to that. So you want to be able to protect that child. You have control. If you know your dog doesn't appreciate kids in his face, and you can control the situation by having him on a leash and protect the child so it doesn't get bit. So it's really for your dog and his protection, as well as the protection of your community residents. Every pet owner, their biggest fantasy is having this wonderful walk with their pet through the park, on the beach, and sometimes it doesn't always happen that way. You know, if you've got a really bad puller and he's pulling your shoulder out of the socket and it's just a dreadful situation for the two of you, consider getting some training classes. There's all kinds of marvelous training classes where you can teach your dog to walk comfortably by your side so that you can have a nice walk and enjoy, your time together. So consider that if you're having problems getting your dog trained. Certainly if you have a young puppy, the sooner you start, the better it's going to be for both of you. Sometimes as a dog owner, you say, hey, it's okay if my dog on a leash, I understand it all, but he is a dog and he likes to run. So where can I go? Almost every community nationwide has some kind of a dog park. And the key with that is make sure your dog is socialized, that he does get along with other dogs, and then know the rules of the park. Some parks have the little dogs separate from the big dogs, and there's only certain areas that your dog can be in. So be mindful of that, but that's always a fun place to take your dog so he can just run. Depending on where you live, there might be a dog beach, and certainly dogs not only can take advantage of the sand, but also the water. So that's another thing you can consider. But then there's always your yard or your neighbor's yard. Just make sure that your dog stays in the yard. Ideally, it's fenced or has some kind of confinement so the dog just can't wander off. But those are always great times. Get a bunch of kids together and some Frisbees and you've got a party. Sadly, things happen, and sometimes your pet goes missing despite your best efforts. If that happens, time is definitely of the essence. Do not delay. Your pet is lost, immediately go out into your community and search for him. Let your neighbors know, business owners, local business owners, that your pet is lost in case they happen to see your pet or even maybe have your pet. If you live in a community that has a homeowners association or a security guard, let them know your pet is lost, because your pet might still be in the development somewhere and somebody might have found your pet and have called them. That's a good place to also, let people be alert that you've got a lost dog or a cat. Put flyers up in your community. Always have a current picture of your pet, so that if you need to put a flyer together that you lost an adult dog and all you got is puppy pictures. So make sure you've got a current picture of your pet. Hand in hand with that is make sure your pet at all times is wearing identification. Almost all local communities have a pet license. The reason for that is there's a number that ties you to your pet. So if they pick up your pet in the local shelter, they can call you. If you have a microchip, make sure that microchip is registered. That's extremely important. A chip without registration is worthless. So make sure that if you move, that the phone number is current, the address is current, so that if someone scans your dog, they know to call you. All of this is very important to protecting your pet and getting you reunited with your pet in case he does get lost. So you got a dog? Keep him safe. Keep him on a leash. It's the law. It's the law in almost every community. It keeps him safe, protects him from getting hurt and injured. It also protects your local residents, your fellow residents, so that they're protected from your pet. And most importantly, make sure your pet has identification. If he does get lost, he does run off, we are able to get you reunited with your pet. Tag, registered microchip, a name tag with a local phone number, all of those things are extremely important to keeping your pet safe and making sure that there's a happy reunion at the end.
If you'd like to help support Take Paws through sponsorship or by making a donation, call 754-321-1000 or go to BECON-TV.